Hey guys, Metal Jesus here, and today I'm back with a quick review. Today we're going to take a look at the GAEMS model G170 Sentinel travel case for your game systems. Now I want to mention that this was sent to me by GAEMS for review, and it's funny that it happened when it did because it landed on my porch just a couple days before I was planning on boarding a plane from Seattle to LA to go to the big E3 Gaming Expo. And I was already thinking about taking some of my gaming consoles down to LA and maybe be able to play them while we're hanging out in the Airbnb. So this happened at the perfect time, and it was a great test because essentially I'm going to take this from Seattle, like I said, down to LA and back, which is about 2,000 miles. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at what comes with it. So here you see me unboxing it, and right off the bat I could tell that the outer shell was going to be very sturdy. Like, you could pound on it with your fist and it's not going to make a dent. And so I could tell that, yeah, it was going to be really good for protecting my game consoles. When you open it up, you can see that there's a cushion to set your console on, and then there are these Velcro straps that you can use to tie it down and keep it from moving. And I would say that your PlayStation 4 and also your Xbox One, they're gonna fit pretty snugly in here. They're not gonna move around if you tighten those straps up, really well. However, that's all the protection that there is. So this is not something where you would just throw it around and assume that your console would be okay. You'd still have to kind of watch it a little bit, but it is definitely secure. Right off the bat, you're going to notice that 17-inch LED display. Now the manual says it's an IPS panel, meaning that it has decent visibility from all different angles. It also supports 1080p, and it has an anti-glare coating added to it. Also included is an HDMI cable, a power supply for the display, a remote control, and an accessory storage bag that you can put all of this in, and also your game controllers. And then to round it out, you have stereo speakers, as well as the ability to plug in 2 pairs of headphones, if you wish. This monitor does have a menu, and you can bring that up either on the front panel or using the remote control. And as you can see here, you can adjust things like the brightness, the contrast. You can also go into the color area and switch it to, say, game mode or movie mode or photo or vivid. You can control the volume of the speakers using either the menu or using the buttons on the front of the display. There's some language options you can choose from, and if you're curious about the refresh rate of this display, well, you can see here it says 60 Hertz. Let's go ahead and play some games. The first one I want to check out is Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. Only because, well, I love the original and I have not played the remastered version, and I'm really looking forward to it. So this is my PlayStation 4 Pro, and keep in mind here that you're not seeing it exactly the way I am. I mean, that should be obvious, but just keep in mind that I'm shooting this actually with my 4K video camera, but it's only capturing at 29.97 frame rate. And then of course it is being converted and then uploaded to YouTube. So just be aware that, in person, actually, I think this looks really good. Another game I want to check out is Trials Fusion. Fantastic motorcycle game. I've been addicted to this pretty much for years now. And then here is Next Machina, which is a twin stick shooter that I, again, have been playing for years. It's one of those games where I can just go back to it time and time again if I'm looking for a quick arcade fix. Now let's go ahead and check out the Nintendo Switch, and we're starting with handheld mode, and then we're going to put it into the dock, and here you go. It switches over to the main display. We unhook the Joy-Cons, and then we're right back into playing Zelda. And as you can see, yeah, it looks and plays great. Here's another Switch game I've been addicted to lately, and it's called One Strike. And basically you play a samurai trying to survive one-on-one, and you can die with just one strike. It's very addictive. Here is Skyrim running on the Switch. Now, when I first got this for review, I tweeted it out and got some really interesting feedback from people who already own this. And it really kind of fell into 3 camps. I got a lot of feedback from people who are in the military and are stationed overseas that swear by these. So I think they've been selling these to the military or people going into the military for years now, and that makes total sense. And then I had a guy who's a trucker who drives long distance across the US who has one of these in his truck. And again, I was like, oh man, that makes total sense. That's brilliant. And then the third person was the person, perhaps like myself, who travels occasionally, like say to LAN parties or multiplayer parties that you just want to take your console or even your laptop or your gaming PC if it's small enough, and you just want to travel with it. I mean, it just makes total sense. In this case, we'll work with pretty much anything that has an HDMI output, including those analog clone systems that you see here. One thing you could do is just load up with all of the clone systems that are out there on the market that output in HDMI, and you could potentially have thousands, tens of thousands of games ready to go right there wherever you are. So how did it perform going down to LA and back, those 2,000 miles? Well, I have no complaints. I mean, it went down to LA, we played it. It was really cool to have it in the Airbnb like that. And then it made it all the way back home, and my PlayStation 4 is just fine. So no problems whatsoever. That said, I think probably my only wish or complaint with this is that I do wish there was a bit more padding possible around the console so I could potentially check the luggage, check baggage and have it thrown around and not really worry about it. I don't know if that's a realistic request or not. That might be very difficult to do with a screen in there as well as a fairly heavy console, but I couldn't check my baggage, and so I had to carry it around with me the whole time. So, that was a bit of a bummer, but I think it's acceptable. So that's my quick review of the GAEMS G170 Sentinel Travel Case. Now, if you want to check it out, I will put an affiliate link to Amazon down in the video description below, and just be aware it retails for about $350. And I'd love to know down in the comments if you guys bring gaming systems with you when you travel, like say on a family vacation or maybe to LAN parties, things like that. What do you do? Do you just put in a piece of luggage, or do you have a solution like this? Love to know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for subscribing, and take care.